This is like super exciting. Fire up hearts. So, remember there was all that crazy over there? So this is down to the original wall, and then they had nailed these boards into them. So I'm just gonna paint that white to seal off whatever's there. I've got this really thick sealing paint to seal. And then I'm going to go over it with the drywall. But I'm doing more of it's be like on the order of stucco, but a much smoother. And I'm going to just get ready to do a short video. I don't know, maybe we better go upstairs. No, we're just going to talk about it. Fire up hearts for truth. Fire up children for God. Fire up hearts for truth. Fire up hearts for God. Fire up hearts for truth. Fire up hearts for truth. Fire up hearts for fire up hearts, children of God. Fire up hearts for truth. Fire up hearts, children of God. Fire up hearts for truth. Fire up hearts, children of God. Fire up hearts for truth. Fire up hearts. Okay. It was fun. See, look, we made a song over 7 years. We made a chorus for a cheer. Well, it's just some sad news that people had to pass out my falsely documented medical records some years back and just spreading them around. Just spreading the rumors around. Spreading the rumors around. Spreading the rumors around. What does that make you now? A shit-talking shit talker. A shit-talking shit talker. Okay. So I just had like a recent, kind of like the idea of a conning event in a way, but not really. It's, as far as I know, my book's safe, but who knows, that's not the con right now. I was afraid I got conned, but I didn't. I took 2 months to make some decisions, it's all, so this is miraculous, taking this down off the walls. I should move some stuff and show, like, and you're like, well, why didn't you just do it? I mean, that's what I thought about too. There was some fear. We had fear. What were we going to find? What were we going to find? A little bit of fear. You know, just bite the bullet. You know what I mean? So then, well, and then the other stuff going on and blah, 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 blah. But it's pretty tattered and torn. Like, some of that's super fractured around the door. Barely holding on with a thread. But, I mean, over 100 and some years old, I guess. Might not be holding on with much of anything. I don't know, it's not working, but it's much better. See? Oh, look. It's one color. That's nice. Okay. 4 minutes of silly. It's hard to believe how many people. Wow, it's fine. It is what it is. Just what it is. I'm going to say this, but I'm not going to say when. I'm not going to say how long. I'm not going to say where. But us and the pups are going on a short little jaunt somewhere. So that's gonna be fun. So if for whatever reason, because it's pretty remote, for whatever reason, I don't pop on here, I'm sure I'll try. You know me. Just, I gotta get all the attention. Let's put it this way. I'm gonna try to pop on. So we've got a laptop now. We might be able to tie into something there. But I don't think it's like super remote. I think it's like it feels remote. You're somewhat remote, but in like 10 minutes you can go to the store. So that's cool. But I better not say too much before I screw up. So we're excited, but yet a little trepidatious because the dogs can go about 3-4 hours in the car decent. We got it built up to. But that's with a break after 2 hours. Getting out of the car after 2 hours. They'll be alright. They're big boys now. So. Political climate's really disturbing, and I'm really alarmed that people are really willing to go back to the blue side. So, and we have like a total regime takeover in process, fruitfully blossoming more and more every day in the most evil way. I hope if you're like us and you voted for any of the pudwhackers that you repented. At least clean your side of the sidewalk, right? Before you worry about someone else's sidewalk. And then see people confuse that with, that's different. You're having to live next door with someone. That means that you're supposed to just turn a blind eye if you see serious human exploitation or something seriously not good. Like, not just a little bit of green or anything, but like you blatantly see human endangerment. Because I'm actually quite liberal, and I'm not going to get into like the reasons and when the right crimes are actually controlled or eradicated, then the other things like date rape drugs find somewhere else to go. Heavier drugs find somewhere else to go. Are you getting the picture? So when the core problem of children and human commodities is reduced, I don't know. You know, I don't even know why I brought that up, because I'm in a lot of question of a lot of things on if one thing's reduced, because then you're controlling one thing, but like, you know, how happy are these humans that are being exploited? I guess that's first what we'd want to look at. So, and I think that we can check off all the boxes. Their life, liberty, and happiness are in jeopardy. Okay, so is this clear? Like, we don't care if you don't cut your grass every 4 days when there's nothing to cut, because you cut it every 4 days. We don't care that you fry your grass up to the point of no return, and then you're out there fertilizing it and trying to water it, but if you maybe just didn't cut your grass as much, it wouldn't die in the sweltering heat. I'm just saying, you let other people live the way they want to live. But if you see something severely bad, and we don't have a task force taking care of those things, then it's not good for society. If we vote red or blue this time, again, we're no farther along than we were 4 years ago, 8, 16, 24, and then as we go onwards. Okay, so first and foremost, until society is ready to leave the very limited paradigm of politics that has run amok into hell and back and all around and taken us, plunging us into hell again, or trying. Some people, depending on where they're living, would say they're pretty sure it's hell right now. I just keep thinking, oh, Michigan's gonna get theirs again. We were kind of the start, though, weren't we? Like the Flint water crisis. One of the starts. So I'm just going to take a minute here and make sure I dot all my I's and cross all my T's. So I think that we can work with the Constitution, work in small communities and out, and that's how we live from now on. And within those communities, maybe network other communities to provide our food, items for shelter, supplies, fuel, you name it. And we just say, fuck you, federal government. You have done nothing but cause a bunch of problems. And you act like you're going to help periodically or momentarily, but that's not at all what they did. That is not at all what they did. They took over. All I see is we can work with the Constitution for the most part. There might be a couple of rude phrases that definitely need to go out or to be changed. Outside of that, the constitutional amendments themselves are solid and true, and we should abide by them. The government has not been abiding by them, and the people need to do something about it. What that looks like, I don't know. We can't seem to get organized enough to make any sense out of it, and it's a very sad, sad day every day when I realize the inability for the American people to group up well enough to actually knock a lot of this down in a more orderly fashion. I mean, but kamikaze works too sometimes. So, I mean, you know, I guess it seemed to be halting the flock centers. The flocking is reducing by alternative methods. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you guys, you just pushed and pushed and pushed. Then you push so many people over the edge, push them over the cliff, push them over into La La Land to never return. And you didn't think the people would ever rebel? Give me a break. You got all kinds of different makeups in this country that are absolutely fed up. We have been fed up. And we're fed up for our ancestors. We're fed up for our families. And we're upset for everyone that was involved in being set up and then robbed from over and over and over and over and over again. Robbing lives, killing lives. Well, I guess that touches all the bases right now, and sure glad I did that on the wall, and I'm definitely motivated now to get this over with. So then I'm doing the seal, and that really helps motivate me to move on here with this first layer of project. Alrighty then. Well, always remember, sometimes we have to keep trying, but always take breaks in between. Always take breaks. You got to avoid burnout as much as possible. Have a good one.